This could be taken a different way, like it's nostalgic and trendy.
This is what you do when you have a child and you have 10 jobs and you guys live 2 hours apart from each other.
Exactly. And this isn't even... Are we even using this?
Yeah, we're going to use it. I just got to set it up. Well, here we are in a parking spot on the middle of the road recording a podcast intro episode. This is not a flattering angle at all.
Just sit up straight then.
I can't because
then...
Oh, sorry, audio problems.
Oh, no. Is that okay? There.
I wonder...
Just... There. Oh. Balancing act. Oh, okay. You gotta wait.
Oh, there's a trash man coming. Hold on. This is so classy.
Man, if we ever have, where did they begin versus where are they now? That's the truck.
Oh, that was a trash man.
Oh.
It's getting hot. We gotta make this quick. What are we talking about? How we know each other and how we started a podcast?
Yeah, so who are we? What are we even doing here? And what business do we have starting a podcast?
None.
Honestly, no one has any business starting a podcast.
But you do it because why not?
Exactly.
So why not?
Why not?
I don't know. Let's see. I think it was last year. I know it was last year. I was figuring out a creative project. I was like, I just need to create something. I just need to tell a story. I just need to do something with my hands. Yeah, all that. And so I was brainstorming stuff and just trying to figure out just what could I do. And then one day I get a text from Taylor and she's like, hey, can you want to talk? Basically, you're like, I want to run an idea by you or something.
Mm-hmm. That was less than a year ago.
Really?
1,000%.
Oh.
1,000%. It had to be like September or October, so we're talking 5 months ago.
All right, we moved quick.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
So yeah, she texted me and was just like, hey, I have an idea to run by you. Want to see if you kind of want to like work on something together? And I was like, sure. So we chatted and it was literally like the same idea, the same kind of conversation that we were wanting to have and be a part of, and here we are.
Yeah. Over the years, we've had just some really amazing, I think, relationships with our friends that are girls and guys, but
not this season.
Not.
Sorry. It's true. We want to focus on women's stories this season.
There's just something really unique, to, I think, hearing other women's stories, and particularly in the church, people that believe in Jesus. I think that you and I both, had a very similar norm for who we were hearing from, and it kind of just felt the same all the time. Mm-hmm. And it was which is really beautiful, all these people writing books or they were speaking at places, but it was almost like the only people we could hear about their experiences was at a conference or on a podcast. And but it was I don't know how you got to where you got to be able to do this. Yeah. But we knew a lot of our own friends, too, that just in the mundane of life and in all of our jobs, all of our identity struggles, all of our relational struggles and victories, it was just really encouraging. And finding out, especially through COVID, not everyone has those kind of friends to be pulling from, either because they're just in a really unique season and it's just a time of figuring out who that new community is, or also because you just didn't know how to go past the norm of conversation to go deeper into how did you make that decision? What does following Jesus look like? What does that look like doing it with your girlfriends and not having someone lead you in a small group? And just what does it look like to have that be your norm of conversation?
Yeah. And I think wanting to give voice to women who, like she said, are in the mundane or outside of the church working and, still following Jesus, but you're an artist or a creative or, you're a mom or you're a filmmaker, whatever it is, just wanting to hear stories of women in these different industries still following the Lord, but just looks very different than I think what we had seen for the last, few years. And I used to always... I think for me, it was all I see myself, where I see Jesus is on a film set and at the dinner table. And I want to talk to women who might have that same perspective, or, you know, maybe you're a makeup artist and you see Jesus show up in the room when you're working on a client's face or whatnot. And so just really wanting to be intentional with like giving voice to those kind of stories.
Yeah. And I'm a worship leader, have been a worship leader for a long time. And I think that's been one of my passions too, in having this conversation is, you know, what is worship, and what is, you know, if our life is supposed to be worship, and you worship in spirit and in truth, like, what does that look like in the day-to-day? That doesn't mean every worship leader is on a stage singing. Like, what does that look like to see, you know, a barista who is worshiping God with their entire life and shifting the culture of their, just the people in their lives? What does it look like for a mom to be raising kids that it's a completely thankless and hidden job in a lot of ways? And what is that doing in you? What kind of worship is that producing, both in the hard seasons and in like the victories, it feels like.
I think it's good.
Gets me all excited. It's also hot in here.
Anything else you think the people should know about us to have them listen to?
Well, that was kind of the what are we doing this for?
Why?
But we didn't really say who we are.
Shoot.
I'm Taylor.
Oh yeah, we did.
We did this backwards.
It's okay.
Whatever.
I'm Kendra, and
we're friends. We're friends, and I'm 30.
Whoa, we're getting into ages? Hold on now.
Why not?
I'm 33.
What?
I look
22.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel 16. I don't know if that's a problem.
I feel like I stopped at 23. I swear.
What happened?
I don't know. I just feel like, oh, I'm 23.
I'm kidding. I don't feel 16. I'm going to say 25.
Okay. I was going to say 16.
Sure. No, I was just being sarcastic. 33. Living in LA. Moved into LA last summer, I think it was. And I'm loving it. LA is a trip, though.
Yeah, it's different. Meanwhile, over here, I'm in Costa Mesa, Orange County. We're both in California. And I am married. I've been married for, next week it'll be 4 years.
Holy cow. That went by really fast.
Kendra was a bridesmaid in my wedding.
Yes, I was.
We've been friends for over, has it been like 7 years?
Since 14. So, you do the math. Is that 8? 16, 17, 18. She's counting with her fingers right now. 8, yeah.
8 years.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. We've been friends for 8 years.
We made it.
Wow.
Wow, we've made it.
It's one of the longest relationships I've been in.
No, it's been really sweet having Taylor as a friend. So I always think of this story. It's the cheesiest story, but it had an impact on me at the time. We were in Ukraine. Yep. We were there, and I was just walking down the street, and there was this giant tree leaf in the ground. I mean, giant. I'd never seen a tree leaf that big. So I picked it up, and I was literally walking down the street just carrying this stupid tree leaf. And one of my friends at the time was kind of like, "What are you doing? That's stupid." And I was like, "I don't know. I just like it." And I remember probably like 5 minutes later, I ran into Taylor, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Like, blah, blah, blah." And again, it's the cheesiest story, but it's like Taylor's that person that like sees you and celebrates like the uniqueness of you and makes you feel seen and valued and understood, even if it's something as stupid as a leaf. Like, I get it. It was childish, but I was enjoying the moment, and she appreciated it.
That's what makes it so great.
I know.
It's like the purest part of yourself.
A leaf holder.
Thanks, Candy. That's so sweet. Cry. Why not? Crying is allowed on our podcast.
Oh, gosh. I cry a lot, but I'm hoping to go this whole season without crying.
Doubt it. You bet yourself. Okay, since it's time for encouragement affirmation time, let's see.
I get something?
I mean, Kendra is an amazing friend for lots of reasons. But I would say she's been vital as I think, influence on my walk with Jesus.
I'm an influencer?
Definitely. Yes. Definitely. Ooh, are we going to like turn that upside down too?
Oh, yeah.
Culture of influencer.
Everybody sit down.
No, Kendra's been like a huge influence in my walk with Jesus, and you are so naturally vulnerable that it allows other people into like any and all seasons that they're in, no matter where you're at. Like, you just allow that space for people to come in and be like, be where you're at. And you're an incredible dream advocate of people, which is just, I've seen that across the board with people. You've really, not only do you don't just cheerlead, you're like an advocate for their dreams, and then you like to like push it a step further and make it a God dream. Like, what does this matter to the Lord, and how does it matter? And it's more than just let's just do something to make my friend feel good about themselves. It's like, this is who you are. And I guess kind of similarly speaking into the identity of people and drawing out the gold. You're really good at that. Thanks, and just Kendra is fabulous in so many ways. Like, if I could think of one word, you're just fabulous.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I receive it. You know, what else?
We really wanted to focus in on women because we're women.
Yep. Straight to the point.
I think in general, like, we're in a really interesting time, especially with social media, especially with comparison and whatnot, and, you know, what makes someone worthier enough or themselves. I think as women, like, one of the things that God's given us is the power of our voices, and especially with one another. And we know that, like, one of the dumbest things the enemy gets in with women is gossip. And so, like, why not come in and create the opposite and illuminate an area that we want to produce something different than just like criticizing or giving our own judgment, but instead hearing from others, gathering wisdom from other women, becoming more and more in step with, like, how do we be encouraged and influenced by the faith of other women rather than compare and contrast ourselves against them, which is why I think too, bringing in women from all different walks, cultures, backgrounds, family of origin, industry, like, I think that was part of our heart, was to, you know, expose all of his beauty through all kinds of women.
For sure. I learn through story.
Yeah.
And I just need to hear, for my own sanity sometimes, just stories of women following Jesus. And I don't know about y'all, but especially as a single person, especially as, like, again, a creative in LA, like, there's so much pressure on what success looks like, or significance, or how are you preparing for marriage. And I'm just like, oh my Lanta, it's so much. And so I just sometimes need to hear how other people are living, not from a comparison place, but, like, just encouragement of, like, you're okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So that's, like, really my excitement around just talking to women.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a mirror. Sometimes you just need a mirror of, like, you're okay, kid.
That was the best way to say it, for sure.
I think that's it. I don't know if y'all want to know something else, just let us know. But I'm really excited about this. I've always wanted to kind of do a podcast, but doing it by yourself feels weird. So to be able to do it with a really good friend is...
Well, it kind of just reemphasizes our point. Just do life together. You need other people, even if it's on a podcast.
Yeah.
You need it. You need to hear the parables. You need to hear the stories of Jesus alive here and now at the Mac counter or in your prayer closet.
All of it.
You know?
That's good.
All the things. We are really excited.
It's going to be great. We should log off now because it's getting hot in this car.
It's hot.
But please let us know what you think of the first episode. Stay tuned for more. We are learning as we go, figuring it out as we go, but we're just continuing to show up and
do the darn thing.
All right, love you guys. Even though we just met, maybe that's called love bombing.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if it's true.
Okay, well, we
Thanks
appreciate
for
y'all
listening.
being here.
That's honest.
Okay. Bye. Oh, God.